Okay, well today we're going to be tying the Perdigon Fly. It's really simple, like 3 materials. We just need thread, flash, UV resin, and some kind of tail feather. As you can see here, mine is done in pigeon instead of partridge. And I will be using blue ice tinsel, which comes out kind of green like this. And the hotspot thread is Firehole 72 denier uni thread, and the underbody thread that I will be using be uni 72 denier black. The bead head that I have up on the front there is a Jig Bomb Jig Heads bead. It's a 3.0 millimeter on a size 16 hook. I'm gonna go ahead and throw one of those in the vise real quick, and we'll go ahead and get this fly started. So with any Perdigon fly, the key is using a small amount of material. This fly is meant to be sleek, small, effective. You know, it's meant to be hitting pocket water, behind rocks, in around rocks. You know, getting down as fast as you can and getting to where the fish are. So I start out by making a few wraps around and around that bead up here in the front just to keep it vertical and secure. And then I'm just going to come back just a little bit there, like that's less than 1/8 of an inch back from the bead. I'm going to go ahead and get my pigeon feather, and I'm going to take and cut about 4 or 5 of these little feathers out the side of it there, quills. And I'm going to go ahead and tie those on. Now the length on how far these stick out the back is solely based upon your own, like however long you want them to be. These ones here, when I get done with it, looks like they're going to be just about the same length as it is from here to the front of where the eye of the hook is. I'm going to go ahead and tie my flash in here right next to it, and we're going to run both of those back the hook at the same time. So keeping concentration on keeping your feathers on the back of that hook as you're walking the thread backwards, like so, till you get right around where that hook just barely starts to make a little bit of a bend, which is right about there. And then I'm going to make touching wraps with that black thread, coming back up out of the hook bend area, all the way back to the front, and just making sure that I'm covering up almost all of the other materials that I have put on before. So you just want this to be a nice, sleek, jet black body underneath here. The color of thread you use also depends upon what color is gonna shine through your tinsel. Like if you use bright green or bright orange, it's gonna really be accented through that tinsel. And as you can see there, hopefully that you can see that there's a little bit of a taper that I'm making to this body. I'm not going all the way to the back, and I'm not going all the way to the front either. Right about there is going to be where I'm going to stop with the black body thread. I'm going to go ahead and make one knot here with the whip finisher, and we're going to remove the black uni 72 denier thread, and then we're going to reintroduce our Firehole orange. And I'm going to go around the eye tie on the hook a couple times. See how I'm going down, around, underneath, and then back up like that. That's to secure it. And it also, when this fly is upside down, it has a enlarged hot spot because the color is shining from the other side. This fly, it doesn't sit on top of the water like this. It does a little different. It's subsurface below water. So what I do different than a lot of people is I put just a little bit of UV resin down on that thread first in there. So that way as I'm wrapping my tinsel around, it already has the UV resin underneath, and it makes it shine really, really pretty, really bright. no air bubbles, basically, because that's the thing, is that if you don't get any UV resin underneath that tencel, or I should say if you don't get any glue underneath that tencel, then it doesn't really shine. It just creates like a air pocket behind it. And that's really what you don't want, especially when you're trying to tie a fly that you want to get down to the bottom with, is you do not want an air pocket in there. And also, this helps make the fly way more indestructible. Like almost impossible to destroy, just because there's just made out of simple materials. There's not much there. Only thing that can really happen to this fly is the tail getting pulled off. So before I hit it with the UV light, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this orange fire hole spot thread around there just a little bit more, making a nice little hot spot up at the front. And we'll give ourselves a nice little single whip finish, and we're going to trust in the glue. And on this point, when I get ready to glue these, I always like to kick the vise down at just a tiny angle. That way when I apply the glue, I can fill in this jig head part right here on the back. And that is almost it. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Just brush her back. I'm going to hit it with the light. I'm going to put another drop of UV resin right here on the back of that head. Right there. And hit it real quick. So that's pretty much it. That is a Perdigon, just a normal one, tied up with pigeon, some ice flash, UV resin, fire hole orange thread, and the Jig Bomb jig head. Well, thank you guys for watching, liking, and subscribing. Go ahead and tie up a few of these and try them out. I guarantee you'll catch something. Perdigon. And then sooner or later I get one right there. Itty bitty one too. Nice one. There's the Perdigon with the pigeon. Oh yeah, nice little 10-inch or 11-inch rainbow. Pretty little fish.